Hello HVAC friends. In this video we're going to look at a furnace and a control board and talk about some LEDs that you might see on your control board and talk about what they look like in normal operation and in a fault situation. So if we look on our panel, most have this type of a sight glass, let's call it, and it's plastic, and you can look in there and see the LEDs. In my case here, we have one LED and it's red. If you can, let me get some light on this down here at the bottom. So this is a red LED, and on other systems, there might be a red one and a green one, for example, and they flash in different sequences and speeds, and depending on the flash speed and sequence, it could point to potential issues. And I'm going to give you an examples of that. So this, on my particular unit here, get this out of the way. If we look here, there's typically a tag like this on each of the units, and it's on the inside of the cover typically. And here it's a wiring diagram, a pictorial, and it shows the components like the flame sensor, the hot surface igniter, the blower motor, rollout switches, inducer motor, and we'll talk about these limit switches for a height limit switch rather, and pressure switch. Then if we look down here, you see the flashes and what they mean. So in this unit, a steady on means normal operation. If it's off, it means a control failure. So that could be a tripped breaker, the power's turned off. There's a 3 or 5 amp fuse on the control board itself that could be burnt out. And then we have one flash. So one flash in this case means it's in system lockout. So the systems will typically try and restart 3 times, and after that they will go into a lockout. 2 flashes means the pressure switch is stuck closed. 3 is a pressure switch is stuck open. So let's look at the pressure switch. We've actually looked at these, a case of one of these a couple weeks ago, and it's on video, and it was stuck open. So these are typically open, and if you remember, the purpose of the inducer draft motor is to turn on and remove combustible gases from the heat exchanger and blow them out the flue pipe here. So in the sequence of operations, the inducer motor is first to turn on, and it's validated by this pressure switch. So the pressure switch is normally open, and it will close when it senses the draft. So there's a little rubber diaphragm in here, and it will close down when the motor is on. If it's not closing and it's stuck open, often, not always, but it could be a problem in this hose, or where the hose connects, there's a very thin orifice, or small orifice, and that often gets clogged up with debris and needs cleaned out. So that could be the result of it stuck open. Could also be defective and as well stuck closed. So that's the pressure switch alarm. If we look down here a bit more, we see also an open high limit. So the high limit is a switch. If you can see right back here in the back, there's an orange label on it, and it's labeled 170-30F. And what that means is at 170 degrees, that switch will open up, and not until it cools down 30 degrees or to 140 will it close again. So this is a safety if you have a problem, say with a dirty filter or closed registers, and you have an airflow issue and it's not getting enough air across the heat exchanger to pick up and remove the heat, it will overheat, and this will open up and send a signal back to the control board of a fault and turn off the system. So that's the role of the open high limit. And again, it's often airflow issue. Next, we look at flame sense without gas valve. So this one down here is our flame sensor, and its job is to sense the flame once the gas has ignited and is on. It'll sense flame and do a job called flame rectification and send a signal back to the control board that we have flame. And then that'll initiate about a 30 or 45 second delay and turn on our blower motor. So if that is sensing flame and the gas valve is not on, that often points to an issue with the control board. It could be with that sensor itself, but it's more likely a control board issue. And we'll talk about that one more here in a moment as well. 6 flashes is open rollout. So rollout switches there's one here and there's one down here. And these, again, are also wired, and they will open, and they will, as well, it's a safety. So when flame comes back into this assembly, this burner assembly, or there's too much heat in here, and again, it's often coming back, these will trip, and they're called rollout switches again. And it could be a problem with your heat exchanger. For example, if there's a hole or a crack in the heat exchanger, when the blower motor, it turns on and is blowing air across the heat exchanger in the back, if there's a hole in there, it will actually blow this flame backwards. And it could be an issue as well with the burners and these orifices in here, but that's a pretty serious issue and not something that you want to play with, and need to really call in a professional and look at it. But that's the rollout and what those could be pointing to. The next one is a low flame signal. So we talked about this one a bit, and I have other videos on this as well, but this again is our flame sensor here at the bottom, and it senses flame and it sends a signal back to the control board that we do indeed have flame. If this is dirty with carbon, so this is in the flame all the time, and it's a piece of metal, and if that gets dirty with carbon, a buildup on it, it won't sense the flame, and it will not allow the system to operate. So it's pretty easy. There's one screw over here. You take that out and can clean it with a Scotch-Brite, like a green Scotch-Brite pad. And that often corrects the problem. I personally never seen one of those go bad in the field, but they do get dirty. So again, this has hopefully been helpful. The last one here is rapid flashes, reverse polarity, verify ground. So that, I personally haven't seen that one, but I suppose it's possible. And again, it could be transformer issue, possibly control board as well. But again, there's one of these on every system. Typically it's on the panel. Your manufacturer will likely be different, but that hopefully gives you some indicators and pointers as to what the flashes mean and where you find the lights and what it might be pointing to. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Give me a subscribe, and have a great day.